one thing that I know about music and the arts is that it is a universal language. I feel very lucky and I'm very grateful for the opportunities I've had to travel to many different places around the world. And there are two sounds that I always think, oh, I hear this anywhere I am in the world. One is the sound of children playing. The other is music. To me, is an ultimate way of connecting us as humans to each other, because we all can connect through music, even if we can't with our own native languages. Hi, my name is Leah Hamilton, and I am an assistant professor of arts administration at the University of Kentucky. I was born in the Missouri Ozarks, which is where I was raised until I went off to college. And in terms of education, I see it as like formal education and then informal. And informally, I grew up in a very musical household, particularly with my father, who played guitar. Became more interested as a very young person. I started taking lessons in piano, which led to me realizing how much I loved just being in a musician's world. So I loved singing, I loved playing piano, I played flute, I played bells, timpani, percussion. I kind of did whatever allowed me to be as involved as possible in middle school and then going into high school. My last 2 years of high school, I got the creative theater bug by doing the high school musicals and decided that's what I wanted to do for a career. So I went off to the University of Kansas, and that just wasn't enough, I guess. I needed to go out into the world and see the world, so I decided to pursue a master's degree abroad. And I went to Scotland, the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland, where I got a postgraduate diploma in music. And while I was there, I had this interesting realization that I really enjoyed being in the library just as much as I enjoyed being in the practice room or on stage. And because I loved reading, I loved being in the library, because I weirdly loved spreadsheets and budgeting, and I also loved helping organize artistic events and music events, I decided that maybe I wanted to look at the business side of the arts. So I went back to the United States and got a job at an arts council as just the person at the front desk, just to know what it was like to be on the other end of the arts, not the stage, but on the like, I don't know, the managerial end, the planning, the organizing, the leading and controlling of the arts. So since then, I've been in arts administration and have now finished 2 more degrees in arts administration, and now I teach it. I think there are 2 different types of people that I've noticed. There's the musician that can't do anything else but make music, perform music, and then there are those individuals that love music so much but don't need to be the one on the stage performing. And that is that back end of the music that if it weren't for all of those people planning, organizing, leading, and controlling the music, then the person who's performing wouldn't have much to do, or wouldn't make money, or wouldn't look so good. And this is such a wonderful opportunity to make a living and be in that musical world. There's so many opportunities. I mean, you can be in marketing, you could be in copywriting or copy editing, you could be in, be the executive, leading an entire organization. So my first tip comes from my husband, who is a full-time freelance opera singer, and he's been doing this in this business for 25 years now. And he always says, go where you are loved, not where you are tolerated. And I think this is really important as a musician, or really any artist. When you are performing or when you create art and you're putting it in front of people, it can make you feel very vulnerable. That's the beauty of it. If you are a musician or even an arts administrator, it's important to feel like the environment that you are in, that they appreciate what you do. If you are feeling like your talents are just being tolerated, then it's good to go somewhere else. I think it's really important to find a niche of people that appreciate you for what you do. Tip number 2 is be an artist that people want to work with. So yes, you want to go where you are loved, but also you need to be an artist if you want to be successful. And again, a lot of this comes from me on the administration side, is you need to be aware that the world doesn't just revolve around the work that you do. So sometimes that means being flexible, adaptable, and I think that's one of the coolest parts about the creative process is working in a team, listening to others, adapting whatever it is that you're working on. Tip number 3 is to stretch your limits. And I say this as someone who has been a bit of a risk taker in a couple of ways. When I was 21, I moved overseas to pursue a degree in a country I had never been to and I didn't know a soul. And there are other times in my life that I have stretched my limits where it felt really uncomfortable, but it was exciting enough that I thought, what's the worst I'm gonna hear? No. Okay. And when I kind of got that mentality of like, okay, if I hear no, is that okay? I would rather hear no than not know what the answer would be. It's okay if you're feeling that urge to stretch and to see beyond, just go for it. What's the worst you can hear? I wish I had taken the time to learn how to do the logistics of life. And by that I mean figuring out a budget for my dreams. Figuring out, sitting down and making a plan for what I wanted to do and what it was gonna cost to get there. So I would say take time to write out your goals, take time to figure out like what it may cost to achieve those goals. And if you don't know because you're like, you're just getting out of high school, I don't know what these things cost. There are definitely people I know that others would know that could say, I know how much that would cost. And so they could give you, if it's a trusted adult, they could give you that perspective. So for someone who wants to learn more about arts administration, there are now a growing number of opportunities to study this formally in undergraduate programs and graduate programs across the United States. For someone who thinks, maybe this really is something I'm interested in, but you're not exactly sure how to be a part of it. A great thing is to look at your own community and look at arts organizations that exist in your community, whether it be a theater or maybe a museum, maybe it's a music studio, recording studio. And you could reach out and say, do you have internships or could I volunteer to know what it's like to be on the business side of this? Often these organizations love and have opportunities for volunteers or interns that can help in their different departments or whatever area it is that might be of interest.